الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان. والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان. والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان؟ خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجان من مارج من نار. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان؟ رب المشرقين ورب المغربين. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان؟ مرج البحرين يلتقيان بينهما برزخ لا يبغيان. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان؟ يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان؟ وله الجوار المنشآت في البحر كالأعلام. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان؟ كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان؟ صدق الله العظيم.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening. I hope you guys are doing good as we enter the end of this blessed month of Ramadan. Thank you for giving your time and effort to come to our very first youth Iftar. I'm Aya and I'll be your host for today, inshallah. Before we begin the event, we would like to show a short clip about the mosque.
أشهد الرحمن فيه أنزل القرآن. الله يا الله لا إله إلا الله. الله يا الله محمد يا حبيب الله. الله يا الله لا إله إلا الله. الله يا الله محمد يا رسول الله. رمضان منزل الرحمات شهر الصوم والبركات. صلي أكثر الصلوات فيه تقبل الدعوات. رمضان
topics, such as how to deal with Islamophobia, teenagers in the West, how to preserve our religion, and one of the pillars of Islam, fasting. Our first speaker today is Azza, and she will be talking about our beloved mosque.
I made a PowerPoint just like about basic things about the mosque. Okay, go. So the Chicago Mosque was bought January 16th, 2015 by Nafis, and before this it was a Lutheran church, and then in 1 month they transformed it, and on February 28th, 2015 it became the Chicago Mosque. So at the Chicago Mosque they have, during like the school year, Al-Bayan school, and it's every Saturday, and age 4 to 8 have Arabic and Quran class for like most of the day. And for 2 hours of the day, there's Quran class for teen girls and Quran class for teen boys. So during Ramadan and Eid, there are 20 rak'at of Taraweeh every night, followed by Watr. And every Saturday there's a, is it too close? No. Every Saturday there's a Iftar, and everybody's welcome to come. And then babysitting is provided for ages 4 to 7, only for the first 8 rak'at every day. And then there's various activities that the kids do that we'll talk about later. And then there's a fundraising dinner on the Layl 27, Layl al-Qadr, the 27th. And that's when, you come here from Iftar till Suhoor, and, they raise money for the mosque. And then there's Qiyam on the last 10 days, and then there's Eid prayer at the mosque and a potluck for breakfast on Eid. So, well, we don't have this anymore, but we used to have monthly potlucks, and everybody used to bring a dish and they would share, and it would be followed, it would be between Maghrib and Isha, and there would be a lecture. And kids would have activities to do downstairs while the parents were upstairs or downstairs for the lecture. And then now we have weekly lectures for men, and then we try to do monthly lectures for youth and weekly lectures for parents. I don't think they have that anymore though. Okay, activities. So for the kids, if it's during Ramadan or during the monthly potlucks or during whatever, they usually have activities for kids. I know during Ramadan they have like a room where they put movies, and then there's a bunch of little boys playing soccer in here, and then a lot of kids play with the toys. And then they used to have karate, and we try to have youth every month again. Yeah, I think I'm done. Yeah. Next up, we have Hadid, which will be talking about one of the 5 pillars of Islam, fasting, and why it is important.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Hadid, and today I'll be talking about why Muslims fast and what it means to fast in the holy month of Ramadan. In case you didn't know, we are currently in the holy month of Ramadan. During the days of Ramadan, we abstain from eating and drinking from sunrise to sunset. Fasting is obligatory for any mature, sane, able-bodied Muslim. Those who are chronically ill, pregnant, breastfeeding, menstruating, insane, or traveling long distances are not obligated to fast during Ramadan. Fasting is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, along with Shahada, Salat, Zakat, and Hajj. Intentional eating or drinking, vomiting, or the beginning of a woman's period makes the fast void. But it's not just about abstaining from eating and drinking. It's also about rebuilding our connection with Allah. When we fast, we are not just feeling empathy towards the less fortunate, we are also being tested by Allah. Allah tests our iman, or our belief or faith in Allah. Ramadan is a time to strengthen our iman and to cleanse our minds and bodies of any impurities. Think of it as kind of like a spiritual detox. During Ramadan, your main focus should be getting closer to Allah and attaining taqwa, or the fear of Allah. Fasting also has some health benefits as well. Some of these benefits include weight loss, reducing cholesterol levels, and lower blood pressure. Any toxins that has been stored in the body's fat is flushed out of your system. When we fast, we are encouraged to become better people and better Muslims. We are encouraged to do good deeds. You could donate hundreds of dollars or you could donate $1. No matter the amount, you are only rewarded depending on your intention.
Advising us about teenagers in the West and how to preserve and express our religion.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening to everyone who decided to join us today. I want to thank everyone who took the time to make it here tonight. My name is Hafsa and today I will be talking about teens in Western society and how to preserve our religion. Now almost all of us here are teens and we're all living in a Western society. I know it's incredibly hard being Muslim growing up in this country. We have so many accusations being put on us during this time with the new president in office and all his supporters. We are being threatened and shamed for practicing our religion. It gets hard sometimes, but we need to stay strong and have trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We teens have a huge responsibility, which is to preserve our religion. There are many temptations growing up in the West that contradict Islam. And part of our responsibility is to have taqwa, which means to be conscious of Allah and to be able to resist. To have that spirit in your heart that tells you no to many wrongful acts. The spirit that tells you you don't need to go to that haram party, or the spirit that tells you to have patience while fasting. We are the future of Islam, so we have to educate ourselves on our religion. We have to find the beauty and the good in our religion. The more we educate ourselves, the more appealing our religion appears to us. In a few years, it will become our duty to educate our children on Islam, so therefore we have to educate ourselves now. Although it's hard for a lot of us since our main language is English, but I'm proud of those who attempt to try to learn Arabic and read the Quran and educate themselves. Another responsibility is to strengthen our ummah. Like I said before, we are the future generation. We are the next Muslims. We have to spread the message of Islam, especially during this time, and stand up instead of trying to fit in and commit haram acts for the sake of fitting in with our Western society. We have to be confident in ourselves and fall in love with our religion. That connects back to educating ourselves, because the more we educate, the more we fall in love with our religion and the more we'll stick by it. I'm not saying that we're not allowed to keep up with modern society because Islam has been the most modern religion yet. We were the first to give women their rights way before any religion or country. For example, Khadija, the Prophet's wife, she was held in high honor and rejected men due to them not fitting her standards. We also do not have to take our husband's last name because we are not their property. The more I hear of these stories, the more I fall in love with my religion and feel the need to preserve it. To make our ummah stronger, we need to quit judging fellow Muslims. We need to stop judging them by their race, gender, or what we see without knowing the story behind it. Now, many Muslims aren't the best, but instead of judging them, we need to help them and make dua that Allah cleanses their hearts. We ourselves are not perfect, so who are we to judge other people? Being the upcoming generation that should connect the Muslim Ummah, judging is very important to overcome. If we can't even accept each other, how do we expect non-Muslims to take us seriously? Overall, being teens in the West is very difficult, but we can stick together and stand up. We are one Ummah. Together, we will become the generation that makes Islam thrive again. Since many of us are growing up more educated than the previous generation, we have to be the ones to excel in spreading the word about Islam and beautifying it to the max. Thank you for listening, and I hope we can be the Muslims we aspire to be. Jazakallah khair.
Our final speaker for the night is Fatima, and she will speak about how to deal with Islamophobia in today's life, especially with all the stereotypes that have been brought upon us Muslimin.
Today I'll be speaking to you about Islamophobia and how it impacts us Muslims and how we should react to it. Now, what is Islamophobia? Islamophobia is the prejudice against Muslims and Islam. Now, out there are people that support our religion and support us, even though there are many hateful things said about us in the media, and we are blamed for many events that have occurred and negatively impacted many people. Even though many people support Islam and Muslims, there are others who don't like our religion and make assumptions about what the foundation of this religion is made up of. Of course, we all wish that everyone would respect one another's religions, morals, and beliefs, and that there wasn't so much hatred against these things that are falsely known as horrendous, and that they need to be stopped. But of course, if that happened, we would all be living in a perfect world, and that is not the situation we are living in today. Many of you know Islam is being blamed for terrorist attacks, for those wounded and killed by those who say they represent Islam, and that they are following their religion by murdering these people. This is not the Islam that we know and try so hard to follow. Islamophobia affects many Muslims and others that are assumed to be following it. People getting attacked, racist slurs shouted at Muslims, walking on the street trying to go about their day like anyone else. Children being harassed because of what they practice. Muslims are now being blamed for hurting the families of those who died because of attacks and murders carried out by those who falsely call themselves Muslim. That is Islamophobia. This hatred has caused such a stir in the modern world. It has caused unrest and paranoia for Muslims across the West and in many other parts of the world.
الله أكبر